welcome. It's been a while since we've been in the studio here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a while since I've been here in the studio. Took a couple months off, but I'm so excited to be back. We want to pick up everybody behind the scenes who's been working hard today to make sure we are up and running. My name is Trinny Cee, and welcome to another session of On Stage Live on Hip Hop Nation. This morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time you're looking at this show, I have the honor of having the one and only
Nick Muhammad. How's everybody doing?
Nick Muhammad in the building.
AKA Mastermind, AKA Yo Brother.
AKA Mastermind, AKA Your Brother. It did some masterminding to get him in the studio finally. It's been like a year in the process. We were supposed to have another guest, Mr. Gail Smaller, with us today, but he is representing at home, chilling, resting up because we have some big times coming in the next few weeks. So today it's just the two of us doing what we do. And so tell everybody, you just gave us three names. Who is Mr. Nick Muhammad, Mastermind, Yo Brother?
So, Nick Muhammad, that's who I legally actually am, absent the persona. St. Paul, transplant by way of Indianola, Mississippi. Has been in the Twin Cities, pretty much all my teenage and adult life. So, St. Paul native, Twin City representative and hip-hop connoisseur, but also have made a lane for myself in the political space as well. So
say that again.
Made a lane for myself in the political space as well.
Amen. Okay.
So doing my piece, but these days just taking a step back and a breather, spending more time with family and gathering myself and preparing for some great community festivals coming up soon. So that's what I'm doing.
So we have something in common. We are transplants from out of state and then made St. Paul our home. And we are very connected to a community called Rondo.
Yes.
What is Rondo for people that don't know?
Rondo is dope.
Rondo's dope.
Yeah, Rondo is the quintessential black community in St. Paul. It was the legacy of it is something incredible to me. The more I learn, I'm always astounded as to what they were able to do with what they had as a community. It's literally where Highway 94 sits. It was an industrial strip filled with homes, businesses, and what people would now call, black power or excellence.
Literally.
And they literally practiced that. And had not they been interrupted, we might have been looking at, Rondo the same way we look at Harlem or, believe it or not, Compton back in the day.
Right.
So, it was a great industrial area, and the people there and the families there, bonded through not only what they built, but, the legacy of what was taken away. And there was incredible people that came through that neighborhood that actually did some incredible things.
Right.
So,
yeah. To put it lightly.
Yeah.
Which, when you say Rondo, you can never put anything lightly.
No.
Because it is power, and it is powerful, and it's still in existence to the point where even now they've renamed streets Rondo Avenue and everything.
Yep.
So what is your connection to, you're talking about there's some festivals coming up, what is your connection to the Rondo community currently within, I'd say, the last 10 to 15 years?
So I'm still a St. Paul resident, and all of my children, family were pretty much born and raised in St. Paul.
Yes.
And, went to St. Paul Central and Webster Magnet, and, we got roots there. So family is very much there. My mother and my immediate family, they're all very much still St. Paul. We also, for Rondo Days in particular, that was one of my favorite times of year when I was a kid. When we moved up here from Mississippi, Indianola, everything in Indianola pretty much is almost black owned.
Right.
And so when I got here, it was a huge culture shock to go from seeing black people everywhere.
I know.
To, few and far between.
Right. It was a big deal to be like, oh, let's go to this black banker in Trinidad and Canada. It's like, what do you mean? Like, they're everywhere,
So, like, getting here, my first experience with Rondo, I remember I was a kid. I had to be like I can't remember the age. I just remember I was in the 3rd grade.
Right.
And coming down Marshall
Right.
and Dale, because
Yeah.
we were right in those townhouses on Marshall and Dale, and I'm sitting in a tree, minding my business. All of a sudden, I hear.
You hear the drill. Yeah.
And all these people marching down the
Right.
street, the Falcons and Hittite Nation, killing it.
Right.
And I did not leave that tree.
Right.
And once they got
And
through,
he's still in the tree, building more roots. Yeah.
straight up, I ran in the house.
Yeah.
My mom was so mad, like, what is all that racket? I was
Right.
like, I don't know. I don't care. Mom,
Right.
can I go to the park? Because
Okay.
they going up to MLK. I'll
Right.
be right back.
Right.
And back then you had to get that permission. Otherwise it was
Yeah.
going to be, but
Somebody's auntie gonna be like, "What you doing? I just saw you in the tree. Now you down here."
Straight up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my introduction to Rondo Days Festival and the community in and
Right.
of itself. It really made me feel less homesick.
Period.
Mr.
Exactly.
Tillman's Market, Mrs.
Yeah.
Fletcher's grocery store.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was in
And
an area
connected,
that was
and there
ours.
was connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's reverse real quick. You talk about Rondo Days. We were talking about Rondo, the community, and now we're talking about Rondo Days. Let's touch on that real quickly before we go to break. What is Rondo Days?
So Rondo Days basically to me the biggest Black family reunion
Period.
in Minnesota.
In the Midwest, almost.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And-
Outside of Shy having like their house party weekend, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. But literally, this is ours, right? Yeah.
Yes. So if we're being technical, it's the commemoration of what happened and the legacy of the great people
Right.
that community represented.
Right.
And so it calls everybody home to remind everybody how deep these roots go.
Right.
And every year I'm always impressed with how far people come
Literally.
for this particular
And walk.
celebration.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it's like, that's the legacy
Right.
that it's acknowledging, and it's every year,
Right.
3rd Saturday in July, everybody comes out and comes back, and that's the beauty of it. Like,
Right.
it's about the people. It's
Right.
literally about the community, and then you begin to realize how big the footprint was of the people who were displaced. It
is, right. And so before we go to break, if anybody wanted to and we're going to talk some more about Rondo Days, but if anybody wanted to find out some information about Rondo Days, how could they do so? Was there a website?
rondodays.net.
Right.
And then we also have a Facebook group, so the Rondo
Yep.
Days Festival. You can go and sign up and check it out.
Right.
They can pretty much go to either one of those and sign up, or
Yep.
check a billboard. I think there's
A few.
billboards coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And if you want to know where to go, just July 19th, make your way down.
Come
there
to St. Paul.
to
MLK.
MLK.
Yeah. We'll be right back. My name is Trinny Cee, and I have the honor of being here with the one and only Mr. Nick Muhammad.
Appreciate you.
What's up, everybody? It's Lieutenant Sunny, and when I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch On Stage Live on Hip Hop Nation, brought to you by First World TV. Tap in.
Welcome back. And we are talking about Rondo and Rondo community and Rondo Days with Nick Muhammad. And we both have a strong connection to the Rondo community. I'm also a transplant. My first major experience in St. Paul was when I was dating my ex-husband. He had a house at 826 Concordia. The parade was coming by. I was like, oh my gosh, there's actually Black people here. Outside of Cary Fest, of course, the Caribbean festival that happens. But I was sitting on the stoop, and he was like, just wait. And it was 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what is this? What is going on? What is this man like? And it was just this. I'm talking about 27 years ago, because my oldest son is going to be 26. Maybe 28 years ago. And here comes the parade, and here comes the Regalettes, and here comes, all the drum lines you talk about. And for me, it was like connection, because there was a lot of everybody else around us. I had no clue of the Neal family that I was getting ready to enter into. We were still in our what we call courting phase, right? And so I just had no. His family's got one of the houses right behind on Carroll, and a whole bunch of other families got a whole bunch of houses within the community. But what it meant to even just sit at 826 Concordia, face that highway, and then see that experience, in front of the V and the Legion and all that come that way, I was just blown out of the water. And I was 24, so it is a big deal. So we're talking about Rondo Days, and we both have a connection to Rondo Days, and we volunteer long hours people don't understand. We literally volunteer long hours, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning,
Happily.
texting, going back. There's a few of us.
Yeah.
Who makes up the combination of making this specific event happen? How does it keep going? Let's give a little bit of history on that.
So, the legacy of it came down with the founder, Coach Floyd Smaller. And,
Big up Mr. Smaller.
And, Mr. Anderson. And as of late, they've done their tenure, so they've handed it off to the next generation. Shout out to Gail Smaller, the board chair, who is a great friend of mine. I've been a fan of him since the Penso days, and he's doing an excellent job. And so, he was the segue into me actually getting involved with Rondo in a greater capacity, meeting up with you in a professional capacity, and just getting to it. So, just seeing, and rest in peace, Lorraine Smaller as well, because that family
literally kept it going, the drive. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the love that the Smaller family poured into the festival, and the legacy that all of the families that were involved played, was
and
my
still
segue.
play.
And
And
still
still
play.
play.
Yeah, and they're only getting bigger. They like,
We need a whole map of who they are, so when they come out to get shirts this year, I'm not disrespectful.
I don't even know if there's enough shirts,
Yeah.
with just one of these families get to.
But the
hundreds
Smallers
real
aren't
quick.
small at all. They're a very strong black family
a-
within, just like the Neals, within the Rondo community.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah,
They ain't small at
they
all.
didn't small at all, and they have
definitely their own little concert size family.
And their family has on Selby Avenue. They have a flower shop. They're still building that generational wealth and that black-owned business all year long. It's not just, and that's another thing about Rondo Days. It's not just a one-day thing. It is literally, it's something that culminates all year long, and it continues to be in the Rondo community. So it's an honor to be part of it, and to be burning the Saturday night midnight oil and the Saturday morning oil, and we have a small but mighty team, right?
Small, mighty team.
Yeah.
Yourself, Gail, Aquanetta,
Tremaine, and Nick,
and myself. And it's the interesting thing is, people would think it's this huge team. No, it's literally a handful of us. And shout out to Mercedes and the Kids Corner and her husband.
And all our sponsors and all that.
Our sponsors.
And our volunteers,
and
right.
we're very few and mighty, but the beauty of Rondo Days is it actually lives in the people. That's the secret
Period.
sauce.
Yeah.
It has, very little to do with commercial, making money. We don't make a nickel. And I wouldn't want it any other way,
Period.
to be honest with you, because it keeps everything clean and in the right energy, and people aren't, coming here to do a money grab.
Right.
I just want to see, when I see the elders come up to us and say,
Thank you.
And I'm glad I got to see this before, I'm no longer here, and I want my grandbabies
And see it's still going.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
That's what it's about.
And it really is a family reunion, because last year we brought back Rondo Days.
Yes.
And if you see the amount of people that came out, where I felt like almost we were like in Trinidad or Georgia or something, because people just kept on coming. And it was all ages, and I almost was like, is there people in the trees watching? Literally, and we brought it back from off the field to where it started, where there was a lot of trees, so it provided shade.
Yeah, to me, that was the best move, because I ain't gonna front. I like the big field,
but
more people, but it's hot
and dusty.
We black,
and
I don't got no problem getting my melanin, but at the same time, I like to be in the shade a little bit, and especially with the elders, they got to sit back, and that was one of my favorite parts is they had the little bubble in the Haley Q space. Shout out to Haley Q and Benny. Where they were looking over the park, and they get to see that legacy and all the young generation that's inheriting that festival and just learning to be affirmed in that space. That was so dope to me.
And shout out to our families behind the scenes that let us take these calls and let us show up to the meetings and oh, not now, I'm in a Zoom call, and and I'm not, let me finish in this email, but it is also, it's not just us on the front carrying the torch, it's people that still keep our torches lit at home during the whole year, because we literally, after Rondo Days, we have a post-event meeting, and then we keep going, and it start all over again. So before we go to break, and I'm going to talk some more about the actual event, what are you most looking forward to this year for, what year is this, the 30?
Well, we tapping on 37.
37, yeah. So what are you most looking forward to this year?
Really, I just want to see the people enjoying themselves. Like I like once we're in it.
Yes.
And I'll drive around all day picking up trash.
Literally.
I just
and
wanna
he
see
does. And then
people-
check him, Trinny, you good? What you
Yeah,
need?
yeah.
But
that's-
literally.
that's my favorite part is to
Yeah.
see everybody come together.
Yep.
And I like to see the hard rocks
Right.
melt.
Yes.
They be over, you know.
Right. And then 2 hours in, they're like,
Yeah, they cheesing, got they chicken, got
Right.
they, you know,
And just being a
catfish,
human being.
and just chilling
Yeah.
and relaxing and seeing the kids play.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part is
Yeah.
when it's buzzing.
Right.
Just watching it and just letting everybody have a good time and take that with them back into the
Right.
neighborhood. It's like a recharge.
Yeah. I want to shout out also Men of March, our first responders, our law enforcement that really partner with us, especially last year, to make sure they were really like, you tell us what you all need. The St. Paul Black firefighters that really just make sure we stay safe, we stay accountable. They were even jamming and having a good
Oh,
time.
yeah. The police trying to get next to the stage.
Right,
That's fun.
literally. They were like, can we come
Fanning
backstage
out.
and be like,
Yeah.
we're going to go to break, but we'll talk a little bit more about Rondo Days when we come right back.
My name is Buddy McClain, and when I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch On Stage, brought to you by First World TV.
Welcome back, you guys. My name is Trinny Cee, and I'm here, and I'm so honored to be in this space today with the one and only Mr. Nick Muhammad, a man that wears very many hats. And today we're talking about community with Nick Muhammad, and we're talking about Rondo Days. Rondo Days information can be found on the website. Give us the website address again.
RondoDays.net.
Right. And so the event is taking place July 19th.
Third
Yes.
Saturday
Right.
of July.
Yep.
And, you know, everything kicks off at 10 a.m. So get on out there, find parking early. I'm just
Right.
going to let you know now, do not wait until
Right.
the day of.
Right.
Find your parking spot
early, or your
early.
ride share, or your bike, or whatever.
Something.
Yeah.
Or biking is a great
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
If you can park, you know, and bike
Bike
your way in.
and bring a
do
bike
that.
lock.
Exactly.
Yep. Yes. And so we start at 10. Well, we start way before that, but
Yeah.
we start at 10. And so, of course, we're going to have the annual seniors brunch, which is for the community, right?
Yes,
Just
yes.
just give me a little 1 minute on what that brunch really is about.
So that brunch is really about honoring the legacy of our elders that, you know, we're standing on their shoulders. These are the people who remember vividly the days before the Highway 94 was even there. These are the people whose homes were taken, businesses were taken, the children at the time that had their entire lives uprooted and came
Disrupted,
together
yes.
to actually, you know, create this memorial
Right.
festival and make
Yeah.
sure that the legacy of what Rondo was
Right.
didn't fade. So
Right.
that brunch is, you know, the giants.
Yep.
Those are the ones
And it's
that we
only
stand
natural
on the
to stand
shoulders
out
of.
with that.
Exactly.
To start out with that in the
Exactly.
morning and pay homage to.
Definitely,
Right.
definitely.
Yes. I
Because
hope I get to
without
get
them-
up from the field real quickly and check in and see, because my aunts will be here who are Rondo family members and
it's gonna be
legacy
beautiful.
families. So yeah. Okay. So we start out with the brunch. We start out early. We're still looking for a couple more volunteers if people have time.
Oh,
but
definitely.
Yeah.
If you're
but-
ready to work, though.
Yeah. Yep. And so and then we have on stage we have some DJs, some music.
We got
yeah.
DJs. We have a lot of special guests, and we have a lot of incredible local talent. So
Yes.
you know, if you've ever wanted to see some of the flavor of some of the great artists and the range of artists we have, come on out and check them
Right.
out. You know, we got some great artists that are coming in from St. Paul, Minneapolis, and they're the next generation, and they're truly phenomenal.
Right.
You know, I don't want to put any names out there because you're gonna have to come.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come, right?
Yeah.
And then we have vendors,
Yes.
and that has been an amazing process that I've been helping with behind the scenes. But we have table vendors under tents, and
Yep.
we have a plethora of food truck vendors.
Plethora of food trucks, plethora of vendors, all, you know, unique experiences. And at Rondo, we like to merge, because you got to remember the Rondo Avenue had businesses and
Yep.
services.
Yep.
So, you know, some of the best foods that you're ever going to taste are going to be in those food trucks.
Yep.
Some of the very unique items that you can buy. You know, I'm hoping this year that some of the book vendors come out. So
Right.
for those intellectual nerds like myself,
Yep.
hopefully we have more black book vendors that are coming out
Yep.
to, disperse some of that information. I know we live in a digital age, but
Right.
ain't nothing like having
And a
access
good
to
hard
the actual
copy book in your hand.
Yes.
Right. And then we also have a kids zone that Miss Mercedes is going to be running. And I'm really excited about that. The senior brunch in the kids zone to me is just like something for the beginning to end,
Man.
something really amazing,
Them
right?
kids, it's incredible to watch kids
Yeah.
just be kids.
Right.
Bouncy houses, face painting, live DJ,
Right.
dance contests,
Yep.
all types of stuff. And I think this year they even got like flag kickball or
Yep,
something going
flag
on.
football,
So,
yep.
yeah,
And
so-
we have a snow cone vendor that signed up last minute. That's an 18-year-old black-owned business that wants to be there. So a lot of stuff. Also, Ramsey County and their mental health crisis and their housing stability will be there. So also information and resources for the community, because it is all about community, right?
It's definitely about community
Yeah.
and family.
And family.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's going to be another it already is historical, but bring your chairs, right? If people want to sit, but you'll have to be sitting way back in the back somewhere, because really
Giving out cheat codes now.
yeah.
So,
Bring your comfy shoes,
yeah.
bring your sunscreen, bring your water.
Yeah, do not bring shoes that are not comfortable.
Right.
And for those that want to look good, I know there's people that's being like,
There is some really good sneakers out nowadays.
But bring,
Yeah.
cute it up in some nice, relaxing clothes. Keep
Right.
it casual, tasteful, but comfortable for sure. Because you're gonna want to sit down and watch the stage from time to time. And
Right.
if you get the little chair that you can fold and compress
Right.
up, you're in business.
Yeah. I had a call yesterday from Ramsey County, just making sure that they signed up properly and stuff. I also want to give a big shout out to everybody that's been helping, especially with Nick, as far as making sure we get our permits in time and making sure we meet the paperwork and follow the codes and the rules. There's a lot of safety handling that we have to meet when we're doing stuff like this to keep everything safe. So those people that we often don't see that are literally behind the desk that make sure, we know it's their job, but to make sure that we meet our job and meet the deadlines and timelines, I think that's important, right?
Definitely. Shout out to the city of St. Paul, their departments that are over all of these licenses and regulations. They do a phenomenal job. They make
Period.
it very comprehensive.
Yeah.
Last year was my first year taking over at that particular position, and they just made it comprehensive.
Yeah.
So it helps when everybody kind of knows what's
Right.
going on. And they've been dealing with Rondo Days for so long that everybody gets a little excited when I come in,
Yes.
and I try to give them as much time as possible.
Right.
I think we were the first application in
Right.
for permit sound variants this year.
Nice.
So, way back in February.
Right.
So it's like, I like the fact that, when people come together and everybody's on the same page, it makes it incredibly easy. But the city really makes it very easy and
Right.
comprehensive.
I big up Mr. Smaller, Mr. Floyd Smaller, for trusting us to continue
Definitely.
the legacy and make sure that we are representing. I think that's a big thing as a promoter and a person that runs events and festivals. It's literally like your baby. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so shout out to him for letting us take the baby and let us,
Yeah.
help raise the baby and
That
baby,
felt good.
yeah, all of that, because I know it was, for him and Gail, it was a work in
Big shoes to
process.
fill.
Yeah, and he was really happy with our small but mighty team. So big
Yes.
up the Smaller family and everybody for the last 30-something years that have turned the trauma into something great. Because just imagine what it is to see your whole community ripped apart
Yeah.
and have nothing for a while and then have a freeway. And some people might have, been homeless and displaced from that and ruined their whole entire lives, right? So,
Well, the beauty is, I think, what it taught me is that the village is wherever the people are together.
ooh, say it again.
The
village?
The village is where the people are together. So, that's what it always reminds me. Every time that festival comes together, it lets you know how much bigger the village has gotten. And no matter what happened to, an aspect of the geographical location,
Period.
the hearts of the people are still connected.
Still there. And it literally takes a village, because Rondo helped me raise my sons. And I'm proud. I'm so proud to be a Rondo transplant baby. I literally am. Like, I never thought in my world, I just thought I'd always be an attendee, but I'm so proud to be at the table and help plan so that everybody, when they come to the event, can eat. And when we talk about eat, not just physically eat food, but their mind is just nourished. All right, so we had Mr. Nick Muhammad here talking about Rondo Days. Thank you for watching.